Hey everyone, welcome to another review. This is my dad.
How y'all doing out there?
Today we're reviewing Creed, released in 2015. 15? Alright. That's something about the story.
Creed is basically about the son of Apollo Creed. He came up through the juvenile system, and his dad's wife finds him in the juvenile prison, takes him home as he grows up. If he wants to become a fighter like his father, and so then he goes to meet. Since his father's no longer living, he goes to his father's biggest rival slash friend, and he gets him to help him train and work out. And we'll get into the rest of the story as we go with our scenes and characters. How did you feel about the movie?
I liked it. It was my first time seeing it. It reminded me of Rocky 1.
Yeah.
So, and I liked it, Creed and all the other characters.
Donnie.
And basically, I just thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
What'd you think of it?
Oh, I like the movie. Like you said, I appreciated that they showing it from Creed's son point of view. So I think that was a good thing. And yeah, it was a good movie.
You can start with the characters.
Yeah, I guess my first character will be Marianne, which is Creed's mom. I love Marianne for the fact that she took in a child that she didn't have to take in. But I think since she knew that she loved his father, how could she allow his son to go through the trauma that he was going through and not be there for him as much as she can?
Mm-hmm.
And so I really love that about her. And I also love that she never looked at him as Apollo's son. That was her son. Especially, once he got older. She treated him like, it's her blood. So
it is.
Yeah, I really love and appreciate that, because I always believe, you can't be with somebody that got a child and you not love the child like they're your own. What do you think about Marianne?
Yeah, I love her. I like that when he said he's about to start boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Like his dad. I like how she said no. I already saw what it did to him. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it showed that clear her motherly stuff on her. But when it was his big fight,
and she still knew that he was doing other stuff, like sneaking around fighting, and he thought she didn't.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure.
No, she told him she knew. I mean, when he came to the house with the black eye, but.
But I basically just love that she supported him all the way.
Well, she didn't support him.
She had her
she wanted. She said you could do anything. Like any real parent that's really there and putting in the time with their kid, they believe their kid can be anything great, not just one thing. And she felt like, look, because he was working for a company and he just had got a promotion. But we not gonna get into that.
But even though she might not support him, she had her strong reasons why. But even when
because of what happened to her husband, his father.
When he needed her, she was there.
Oh, of course. She ignored him for a little bit, but yeah, she was there.
I don't think I
know he called her and
I know
she never answered the phone.
I feel like she listened to it probably a lot.
Of course she listened to the message, but she told him, you want a box, I'm not going to be there. Even though, like you seen when he was fighting, she was watching all the fights, but she just can't let him know.
That I was.
Even though he probably knew she was. But who's your next character?
My character, Bianca, is that you say?
Yeah, Bianca.
I like her.
Yeah, good woman.
She's Apollo. I'll say Apollo. Creed's. Donnie's.
Yeah.
What's it?
His girlfriend.
No, before they met.
His neighbor.
Yeah. And when he basically met her, he was.
At first, because
he got mad because of music when he saw her face.
Yeah, you hear what he was saying when he come downstairs. He's like, "This motherfucker disrespectful. Whoop his motherfucking ass." He thought it was a dude.
When he saw it was her,
And when the door opened, then he seen, oh, she's nice looking.
His mouth was just open.
And he's like, oh.
It's that word. Start acting shy. But basically, like you said, his girlfriend. She's very supportive, and she likes to keep things, as she said, 100. You know.
Yeah.
I don't hide nothing. You don't hide nothing. I like her relationship with him, Rocky. How they're all like they made their tiny little family.
Oh, once they get the linking up. Yeah.
I like her as her own character. Very supportive, even when she's mad at him.
Yeah, I mean, but some of that stuff, I don't know. Should she been mad? But we can get into all that when we get into it. I like Bianca too because she got a real goal that she into. She really working on it behind it because she really hard on it trying to get it done now because she has things that's going to affect it in the future. So she says she got to be on top of it right now to make sure she can get as closest to her goals as possible. Yeah, so, and she brings a story too, so that I think it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. And because but we'll talk about it as we go. Because all they are is, I mean, they're not exactly the same, but they Adrian and Rocky, Donnie and Bianca. Yeah, but different.
It took me a minute to realize who Adrian was.
Yeah, different career paths, basically. But
who's your next character?
My next character. Oh well, Donnie.
I was gonna get to know her character, wasn't
I? Yeah, Donnie. I feel Donnie. Donnie has he got a tough life. He at the beginning anyway.
At the start.
Yeah, because he didn't. He don't even know who he is, as far as like who his family is, until his mom come visit him at the juvenile facility. And of course, I'm sure she told him the history, and with technology now, he can YouTube all the stuff and know about him as far as his professional career. But she tells him about his father, personal person he was outside of the boxer. But yeah, Donnie, and then Donnie, like you said, he worked for everything. Even though as he got older and he knew who he was some kin to, it was about Donnie. It wasn't about Apollo. Even though, he had some things where he wanted to be connected to Apollo, but, he kind of pushed it away.
As he said in his own words, he wants to build his own legacy, not...
Yeah, but inside,
he wants to go off of that.
No, he don't want to go off the legacy.
Or
he just don't want to he want to live up to it. Yeah, he just not just with okay. But yeah, he still. I mean, his father ain't alive. He wanted the approval. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that would come with the boxing people, the announcers, commentators that seen his father before. But yeah, I like Donnie. Donnie's a likable character, and he reminds me of the average young man growing up in the community. Even though he grew up with cash, after the juvenile thing, he grew up rich kid. But yeah, Donnie, it's a good character. What you think about Donnie?
You basically said everything I had to say.
Oh, you should.
He's a good character. He's great. That's pretty much all I can say about repeating what you said.
Yeah, I mean, he had some bad moments, but
I feel the bad moments were justified.
Somewhat.
You see, you saying someone still makes it room that I can explain it. Why?
Yeah, but we'll get to all that. So
love his relationship with his mom, though.
Yeah.
My character was the character I thought she was going to go to before Donnie. Rocky.
Oh, no.
I thought she was going to get the small fries out of the way and then get to the big guy, the main character.
Nah. You do the opposite. You always name the main character and then we go to the other people.
Well, Rocky, he's Rocky Balboa, just older. He's given up the boxing.
Yeah, he threw with boxing.
No training, no nothing. He's just done.
Yeah, because
he runs his little restaurant.
I think once his son, it didn't work out for his son, I think he was kind of through with the boxing. And then more than you didn't see the older ones, like See,
oh, actually, I have it.
He leaned himself. I mean, he gave himself to dudes like Tommy and them, and Tommy and them stabbed him in his back. So that was another reason why he quit.
I haven't seen the other ones. It's just been years.
Yeah, and then you really wasn't
really focused on it.
Yeah,
I might have just seen.
Yeah, you was looking at him to entertain it, but you wasn't really following the story.
But he basically runs to a restaurant, right? And he meets Donnie, and immediately you see.
Are we talking about Rocky, or are you explaining?
Yeah, Rocky.
The movie.
And basically, he's just like this alone.
No, you're gonna talk about Rocky, right? We're not gonna talk. We're not talking about what's going on in the story. You describing Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you was talking about what's
up
happening in his life.
Yeah,
that don't have nothing to do with him.
Get back to the story. He's alone basically, right? His son's gone, his wife.
Yes, Adrian's dead, Paulie's dead.
Everyone is basically gone.
Everybody.
He's by himself in his house. And then I like his relationship with Apollo. Creed.
Which one?
Donnie.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the old Rocky, so I don't know his relationship.
But you know him. Well, talking to Donnie, he let you know how their relationship was.
He thinks of him as the best.
No, I'm just saying when he was like, yeah, you was about to quit, and Apollo came and trained you and brought you to LA and got you back on your thing. He was like, yeah.
But I like his relationship with Donnie. How it's like, as Donnie puts it, uncle and nephew.
I mean, as it grew, yeah, I guess that.
I think he wanted him in his life since immediately before did he call him by Rocky the first time they met, or did he call him by Unc?
He didn't call him nothing.
Oh, the second
time.
He
was just in a restaurant, asked him about it, and Rocky kept saying like, "Who are you?" And he was going past that and was more talking about him and Apollo relationship, the fight, and all that type of stuff.
And the second time he started calling him.
Yeah, when he ran up on him, and he was like, "Unc." He's like, "Well, what's Unc?" He said, "Either that or OG." And he's like, "What's OG?" He said, "Old ass gangster." He said, "Nah, Uncle." Yeah, but
Anyway, I just like their relationship. It's clear that they have great amounts of love each other.
Yeah, because see, I like Rocky always because Rocky was never like a snake. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have probably took advantage of Donnie when Donnie came and used Donnie's name and blew up and got money and never really cared on. But you see, Rocky is a good person. Then he know Apollo, so you see how he kept shooting him down. He was like, when he's like he want to be a fighter, he was like, nah, why you want to do all that? You don't have to do that. You talk like you smart. Remember he said you talk like you're a smart person. So I know there's plenty other things you can do. You ain't got to do this. And he's like, man, because he asked him about stopping the fight with his father. And Rocky's like, I should have stopped the fight. He's like, nah, maybe he didn't want you to stop the fight. He wanted to go out like a fighter. And he said, nah, I think he'd rather be right here talking to you instead of being dead. So, you know, all that stuff meant something to Rocky. Like, and then I felt also Rocky got a son, so he know how it is. He hope his son doing good. He don't want nobody to take advantage of him. But what else you had to say?
You go back on what I was saying. The one thing I don't like about Rocky was that one scene. Besides that, he was cool.
What one scene? Oh, that one scene? Well, you shouldn't like Creed then about that one scene. Cause,
no, that's why I was going to explain. I'm going to explain.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. So, you have any other character?
Oh. Is there any other character important?
I mean, it depends on who you want to talk about. Did you want to talk about Lord Duke?
No.
Lord Duke was the dude that was training his father. That his father also trained Rocky, but he wouldn't train him. Some of you grew up with the silver spoon in your mouth and all that. He's like, Lord Duke, when I was in juvenile homes and all that, did you miss a meal? Yeah. You living off my father's name and stuff. I ain't say nothing. I'm just trying to get trained. And I think Lord Duke is, well, you ain't seen the other creeds, but yeah, he knew what Donnie was saying was some legit stuff. But
right
we
now,
ain't got to go into that.
I'm not saying something I don't like him.
Why you don't like him? Because he didn't want his like his little brother somewhat get messed up in the ring.
No, one,
Well, we're gonna get.
I won't explain.
Well, no, go ahead. Explain why you ain't like him. Because he's not one of our main characters.
That one little thing you said. What? He was living on Rocky. His Adonis name. No. Not Adonis.
No, he wasn't living off Apollo name. I'm just saying the gym that he had, it was famous because of Apollo. But he was a trainer like his father. I'm sure you see, he had the number 2 ranked boxer in the world, so he ain't just living off of it. But I think the name Apollo helped bring certain people to that gym. So maybe help him get his fighter. Because now he living, my father trained Apollo, trained Rocky. You know what I'm saying? So he building off of that. But he probably I'm sure he's a good trainer. But I'm just saying he also got famous off that name.
For some reason I just don't like him. I don't know if it's the name or...
It's probably because of that one scene.
Probably. But anyway, he's not important. Let's get to the scenes.
Well, good.
At the beginning. So basically starts off with us going to the correctional...
juvenile correctional facility.
Mm-hmm. And basically it's showing like them playing like some boys away or something.
No, well, the alarm went off and was letting them know somebody was fighting, and you see the CO running to the scene.
I like how the camera
following him. Yeah.
And basically, Adonis has already showed that was in his blood. Donnie. Yeah. Donnie. It showed it was in his blood. The box is that good.
I mean, just a fighter.
Because the kid was got him right, and then he got on the kid and knocked him out in about 3 punches, I think.
I mean, do they show the whole thing? Because all they show is them, like...
No, I'm just saying from what we see.
Yeah, and then it's just...
I just thought that was the entire fight. Because one it looked like it started with them grabbing onto you, like how I see most fights start.
Nah, most fights don't start like that. That's called wrestling. Most fights, people throwing punches. But yeah.
Well, they started throwing punches when they hit the floor.
Yeah.
But I just... And I basically just like that it showed that he got him knocked out in just 3 punches. Again, I believe. I'll need to watch again.
Yeah, I don't know how many punches, but yeah, he beat the dude.
It just showed that he was very skilled.
I mean, I don't know, very skilled.
Not for
He was good enough to win the fights. That's all we're going to do. We ain't going to say very skilled because he had a black eye and all that too at the end of the fight. So,
true.
I don't know about very skilled.
He was very good.
No,
against the kid.
I don't know if he's very good. He's just a fighter.
Against the kid.
No, he's just a fighter. That's what he do. He fight.
He was good.
He just fought back. I mean, you keep saying good. He won the fight, I guess.
Alright.
I don't even know if he won the fight, but he was on top, so he won the fight.
And basically, they take him to his cell or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he was in solitary.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
I don't know how they do it.
I mean, different places do different things, but.
And basically, Marianne walks in, right?
Yeah.
And like some counselor ladies, like he never acted like this before, or like.
No, the counselor lady basically was telling Marianne like he a good kid. Like he gets in little fights, but he's not a real troublemaker. So she basically, cause she know that Marianne is thinking about taking him home with her, and she basically like he's a good kid. He just had some bad breaks. Don't let this little incident, ruin what you think about. I mean, what I'm telling you about him. You know what I'm saying? So. Well,
I didn't remember the exact things he said.
Huh?
I didn't remember the exact things.
Yeah, that's what she basically told him.
Okay, and basically, Marianne enters the cell.
Yeah, she said, "Can I talk to him alone?" And the lady left out.
And he basically like, he explains why he started the fight. The dude was talking about his mom.
Yeah.
And I think she asked, "Do you know your mom or your dad?"
No. She was like, "Do you want to go?" She said something about his father. And but she said, "Oh, you like your father?" And he's like, "I don't got no father." And she said, "What you say? You do got a father. I'm his wife." And basically broke down. He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I just want to know, do you want to come home with me?" No, because he thought she was a social worker, and she was like, "I'm not no social worker." And he was like, "Who are you?" And that's when she broke down about his father. And she was like, "You want to come home with me?" And he was like, "Yeah."
I just remember that how it ended, her asking.
Yeah.
And basically the scene, the end of that scene.
Yeah, I like that scene because you see when she told him, you see he was brushing her off when he thought she was a social worker. But when she told him, nah, I ain't no social worker, and she broke down who she was, he softened a little bit. You could see him soften. He opened his hand. Remember, he had his fist balled up the whole time. But once she told him who she was and she wanted him to come home with her, you see his hand open up. Like, he loose. He wasn't on edge or on defense mode no more. He was calm. He was regular. I like how they showed that.
I didn't even notice. My next scene is him meeting Rocket. I'll let you
you scared you watch. Because what my next scene is when they show him now that he older. Where they show him, you can tell he in a Spanish-speaking country somewhere. And he about to fight. Because everybody was speaking Spanish and he just sitting there. But he got his gloves on and stuff.
They said he was in Mexico.
Tijuana, yeah. But then when he go to work and he get the dude, his resignation saying that he quitting because he had just got the promotion. The dude like, you quitting? You just got the promotion? You great and this and that. And when he go home, before that he didn't go home. He went to the part that made you mad. After he quit a job, he went to the gym and was telling Lil Duke.
No, that's not how it went. Remember, he went home and she was like, I'm happy you got the promotion and stuff, right?
And he never told her.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he never told her. And he went. The reason I just skipped that because you was skipping all the way to when he meet Rocky. So you skipped the whole lot of the movie. But anyway, he went to see Lil Duke. And he was telling Lil Duke, I'm ready to train. And he was like, nah, he ain't training. I'm going to tell everybody that I know that do training don't train you. You're a spoiled kid and this and that. These people out here fighting for their life. This is about their life. And that's when he said, oh yeah. And he broke down, did you miss any meals when I was in the juvenile? You talking about this? My father, Jim. You see my father all over here, whatever. And that's when he offered the dudes. He was like, man, matter of fact, hey, I got a Mustang outside. Any one of y'all can hit me in the head, man, y'all can have it. And he was like, man, don't do that, you gonna get killed. And he jumped in the jump. And the Bama, the 6th ranked boxer in the world, came up, was like, oh yeah, something. And had the headgear on. And they asked Don, you need a headgear? He's like, nah, I don't need no headgear. And Slim swung, he whooped him. And then Wishcon Willer, this number 2 ranked in the world, came up, was like, yeah, I take that bet. And you can see Donnie get a little nervous.
That's why I know.
Yeah, he was like, oh, because he recognized who he is.
And he put the headgear on.
Yeah, Donnie went and put the headgear on, and Slim was like, man, you need it? He was like, man, go get my stuff. I don't need to work out. I don't need to stretch or none of that. Just get my stuff. And he went in there, and Donnie was doing all that running and trying to weave, and Slim was throwing them jumps, but all he was trying to do was catch that time, and then once he caught Donnie, man, put Donnie to sleep. Man, was snoring. It was funny, but it was sad at the same time. But that's when he went home. He had the black eye, and he told his mother he quit the job. He about to retire. She basically was like, "Oh yeah, you want to be like your father?" I used to have to wipe his ass for him sometimes because he couldn't shit. When he had to shit, because he couldn't use his hands. I used to have to
carry him up these steps.
Carry him up the steps because he couldn't walk and all that. That's how you want to be? And she said, nah, you want worse than that or something.
And she did say you want worse than that.
He was like, well, I'm leaving. I'm about to go this and that. I'm going to call you when I get well. She was like, nah, don't call me. I don't want to talk to you if this is what you're going to do. And she stepped off and he basically flew to Philly. And then you can get to your scene.
And so basically he shows up at Rocky's restaurant.
What'd you say?
He basically shows up at Rocky's restaurant.
Yeah.
And Rocky's dismissive.
Dismissive? He coming up
or
to
he
talk
just
to him.
like he's a regular person.
Yeah, he is a regular person. I don't know you.
No, not him knowing who he is, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know you.
Mm-hmm. And he basically, like you said, start asking questions about like, hey, this
from the 10th round.
It's not like their first fight.
He was like, oh, how you know that? This and that.
Mm-hmm. And
like,
he asked, hey, who you?
But he was like, yeah, I heard it was a 3rd fight. Who won that one? He was like, man, who sent you this and that one?
And he basically ignoring answering the question.
He's like, I'm his son. He's like, yeah. He said, call Marianne. Ask her. He said, matter of fact, I forgot you ain't talked to her since the funeral.
Nice speech, though.
She said you did a nice speech, though. And he's like, oh, yeah, you kind of do look like him a little bit.
That's what then he said that to him.
He said you do look like him a little bit. Which you, his brother or his cousin?
Yeah.
That was before that. That's why he said.
No, and then he said, I see the resemblance.
He's like, I'm his son and all that.
And he basically says, I want you to train me, right? He was like,
he basically asked him, could you train him? No, he asked who won the third fight. And he's like, oh, Paulo won the third fight. He's like, something about, he said, he's the best ever. He had no weaknesses. He said, you beat him? He said, time beat him. He said, time catches all of us.
It's undefeated.
Yeah, his time's undefeated. And so, yeah, he went through that. And then,
he basically...
He like, because at first he was like, the girl said you had to ask me something. And that's when he was like, I want you to train me and all. He's like, man, I don't do none of that. Then he's like, man, but I'm about to close up the restaurant. So I'll see you later on. And Donnie basically left. So what's your next scene? I was going right to your scene.
No. When they meet?
Yeah, when
and so he's basically sleeping, right?
Yeah.
And then he just hears, like, the music turns up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it turns up. He just was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it was just loud, and I guess it just woke him up. Because it was late. I guess how late it is. Because that's when he ran downstairs, and he was saying, man, I'm going to fuck him up. It's so disrespectful. Like, I guess because he looking like it's late at night. This motherfucker got the music loud as shit. That's when he started banging on the joint. Started kicking the door.
Did he? I thought that was a...
Nah, remember he started kicking the door?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, she opened up, because he's about to bang again. And then she opened it up like, what's your problem? Basically. And he was like, he was shocked that it was a woman for one. And then I guess she was attractive to him too.
And so he just standing there, mouth open.
And she's like, hello?
He's like, I'm Donnie.
Yeah, I'm Donnie. She's like, all right. Like, okay.
I'm your new.
Yeah, he's like, nah, the music was loud, I couldn't sleep. She's like, oh. He said, yeah, I gotta get up early tomorrow to train. She was like, oh yeah, you gotta do all your joints and stuff. My bad, I turned the music down. And then he was about to talk, and then she just shut the door to his motherfucking face.
And then she just turned it down.
And then the music was right back at the same volume.
But you see, he doesn't.
No, because he was going upstairs. He kind of cared, but he was like,
yeah, it's not worth
it. Yeah, defeat the purpose of keep going back and forth with her about it.
And this kind of leads to my next scene. So he basically talks to Rocky again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Rocky, he says no, but then Rocky goes visit his wife and Polly.
Yeah, he went to the cemetery and was talking to Paulie and Adrian.
And then he said, like, I basically don't do nothing anymore.
And that's when he realized, like...
He looked up to the sky and he's like...
Yeah, I should be doing something.
And so basically he shows up to the gym. And he starts training.
Yeah,
he agrees that train...
Yeah, because the dude, Pete, that's running Rocky Gym, been asking Rocky to come down there for years to help him train his son, Leo. But go ahead.
And like you said, he was asking Rocky, and Rocky always just said no. Yeah,
but you say you about to get that, but you jumped past that and said he started training about Creed. That happened before he started training.
I thought back walk, as I call it.
Oh, okay.
And basically, yeah, and he comes down here for what do you call him? Hollywood.
He's Hollywood because L.A., Hollywood, and L.A.
And I think you can see right there that something's wrong with him. I think he's mad that he came for him, but not his son.
No, he didn't say you came down here for Hollywood. Donnie, while he was talking to Slim and his son, Donnie said, and ran up on him. And he's like, he talking to you? He said, yeah, he talking to me. Then he's like, oh, how you know Hollywood? He said, oh, I met him at the... And then Donnie said, we met at the restaurant. And that's when he pulled Donnie to the side. Was like, we're going to be doing this. I'm in control. I need you to be working hard, give me all and all that.
And basically that starts
yeah, Pete got upset about that.
I think it's because he said, what's so special about this kid?
I guess Pete was more, to me, it looked like it could be some racial stuff. Because Pete, like, we both Italian. We from the neighborhood. You done watch my son grow up. Now you dealing with the dude from Hollywood.
I can see that, but I just thought he was just jealous.
because I'm like, he ain't had no understanding. Like, how could you be dealing with this dude? And two, of course, when he found out whose son it was, and then that's when he said, "Oh yeah, see, I understand." Remember he started doing all that.
I was saying and basically they start Rocky training thing, right?
The montage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I laugh every time I watch it because you see Rocky saying like, "Hey," and then tell you to stop. The bell doesn't release you.
Oh, when he's jumping the rope and the bell, yeah.
I just love every time he's just sitting there reading his newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this leads into, I guess,
because before that, in the montage, the show with you ain't never seen Rocky 1 and all that. When Mickey had him chasing the same thing he was doing, had him chasing the chicken, and Rocky couldn't catch it. And you see what Rocky tried to tell him at the end. Dang, chickens must be getting slow these days and all that type of stuff. Yeah, but same stuff Mickey was basically doing the Rock.
I never seen Rocky 1, but I thought it might have been a callback. I have seen Rocky 1, but it's been, like you said.
I think that's why I like Creed so much, because Creed is more like Rocky than his father. He's not like, he don't fight like his father. I thought he was a mixture.
Like how...
Nah, because Rocky is all hard work. I'm going to take a beating, but I'm going to stand tall. His father more was fly, pretty, dance around, just had supreme talent. And I don't think Donnie, I mean, he built on it, but I don't think his skills was just ever at that level. Just talent.
This is my next thing. So basically, it's been weeks, I guess, him training with Donnie. Days? Weeks? They never really...
I guess it's weeks. I'm more sure it's weeks, because you talking about when Pete asked him how much he weighed and all that?
So I'm going to go with weeks.
Yeah.
And Pete, you see, he keeps giving him
he keep giving
what is that
look.
thing called? Yeah, the look.
Yeah, he keep giving him that.
Oh, and he finally, I guess, mustered some courage to go talk.
I don't think he mustered no courage. I think he just more like, okay, Rocky really locked in with this dude. All right, I'm going to get my son. And yeah, we're going to line it up. And then when my son beat him, he'll feel like, yeah, see, I told you should have been messing with my son instead of wasting your time with Hollywood. You see, that's what I bet.
I don't think you're wrong. And basically, after that, he's like, hey, what's your boy weigh and stuff.
Yeah, he asked him, how much you weigh on Hollywood? He said about 180. He said, get down to 175 and we can do something. That's when Rocky was like, hold up. What you talking about, fighting your son? Because your son 175. And he was like, yeah, we can just, get something going on. And Donnie started talking. He's like, hey, I do the talking. You box. Yeah.
Like, I found that funny.
Yeah.
Like, leave this to the person who been for this.
No, he told him that at the beginning. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it my way. I need you working hard. Blah, blah. So basically, I run
the show.
I don't run the show. Like, I'm in control of what we're going to do, when we're going to do it. You just train and give me your all, and we're gonna be cool.
And basically, he accepts it. And what did Pete say? Hey, the boy's hungry. You're gonna have to feed him for once in a while.
Yeah, because he playing on Donnie, because Donnie said something back, so he knew Donnie wanted to fight. So he already knew. That's why I said, hey, you gotta feed him sometimes. So Donnie, and you see what Donnie said after that, like, Rock, what we doing here? We supposed to be boxing and training, and Rocky like, man, nah, we got to do it this way. I guess he want to do it the slow way, like Mickey did with him.
Build it up.
Slowly build up, don't rush into nothing and all that.
But then Donnie convinced Rock, right? Donnie convinced Rock.
I mean, like he said,
you gotta feel it.
Yeah, we got to fight, Rock. What we doing all this training for?
But anyway, so he's like, no, he changed his thing, right? He's like, he moves in with Rocky.
No, that's what happened when they was walking. He's like, man, we can get started right now. And all this. And, man, I can move in right now. I can go get my stuff. And, yeah.
And they basically move him in, right?
But the whole time, you ain't telling at the same time, him and Bianca
are getting closer.
Are dating and stuff. I mean, where they going out. He's seen her at one of her shows. Because she's a singer, of course. We didn't get into all that.
My bad.
No, it ain't your fault. We just never broke that down.
And it makes it just getting closer.
Yeah, and then of course we didn't talk about that neither. She has a hearing problem. That's the problem. Yes. We said that she got progressive hearing loss. So sooner or later she gonna be completely deaf, and that's one of the reasons she's going so hard
on her
music and ain't taking no time off. Cause like when Donnie asked her to go out, she's like, I got a lot of stuff that
I only have an hour.
Yeah, on my plate.
And so basically, their relationship building. She's like, "What you doing?" And she sees his uncle.
Oh yeah, when he's moving on, and he's like,
he's like, "This uncle."
He's like, "Yeah, I'm about to move my uncle because I got a fight coming up, and he's training me." And she's like, "You know, your uncle white."
I love Rocky face.
Rocky, I like Rocky. What Rocky said for a long time. Like, yeah, I've been white a long time. Yeah,
I can't change it.
And Rocky basically tell her though, you see how Rocky, I'm training you, but I'm also giving you, because Mickey ain't used to like Rocky going out with Adrian and doing that stuff. He wanted Rocky to be focused on boxing full time. But Rocky, you see, telling her, when we not training, you can come over and hang out with us. You know what I'm saying? I still want him to have his life and, you know, seem like a nice woman, so I want him to have that. But
I love her reaction also when he goes in the car. She's like, "Your uncle."
How you tell me your uncle was Rocky Balboa? He's like, yeah.
And then come up.
Yeah. And she's like, he's like, "I'm gonna call you." And she's like, "I won't hold my breath." Like, shit, you holding all these secrets back. I ain't gonna be waiting on that.
And I love it. They start their new training, right?
What you mean that new training?
Like Rocky about to take him to another gym.
Oh yeah, when he's like, "Yeah, we about to go to this gym."
I love it in the morning. Rocky's just there. He's like, "Yeah, you gotta get up, yeah, you're moving, come on."
Yeah, get that blood flowing.
The dancing of Rocky kills me.
He ain't dancing, he just hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't do him. I mean, you know.
And basically, he's like, "Hey, I can't get in the car." He's like, "No, you run, I drop it."
No, he's like, "Oh, don't get in the car."
It's close.
Yeah, it's close back. You see, I'm an antique, so I'm gonna drive the van. Yeah, you just keep up. The whole time, them people was driving. It was dark. It was 6 in the morning when they got to the place. The sun was out and everything.
He's like, "I thought you said it was close." And he said, "I didn't say it that close."
Yeah, they drove that man all the way up North Phillies.
And he's like, "While we're here," he's like, "Hey, I didn't want you training in the gym with the person you're about to fight."
Yeah, because you don't need them looking at you, learning your stuff.
And basically, he takes them to like, these people work with him or work with him.
He know these people. No, he just, I mean, you know, he from Philly. So he just moved around the community. And Rocky always, even when he came back, he never was one of them, I'm above the people. He still walked through the community and stuff. So he knew these dudes, and then he a boxer legend. So he know all the people in the boxing game in Philadelphia, definitely.
He introduced him to the best guy who makes gloves.
He said the best pad man, the black dude whose son was training with him. That was his sparring partner.
The young white dude who was the best glove maker.
He said he gonna make some gloves for you, some good gloves.
And
then he had Stitch, the cut man. He said the best cut
man.
Stitch
was an artist with the cut. So.
I mean, that's his job to keep doing.
I mean, but it seemed like this was another level. He's like, "I've been doing this for so long." It's a crap. Yeah. I like them, and they basically start training. You know.
Yeah.
Started the little punching stuff, getting him ready.
No, I would do that again.
That.
Whatever that was, yeah, embarrassing me. Sorry. But what you? Oh yeah, so yeah, he started his training and he was getting ready because then they had that fight, and they had that fight, and that's when Pete came right before the fight. Him and the Lion was about to fight, and right before the fight, he was like, "I know it was something about that kid. Yeah, I called out L.A. Yeah, that's Creed's blood, man. Why you ain't let me know?" And Rocky was like, "We trying to do it on our own. Can we just keep it low like that?" And Pete was like, "Yeah, all right." And I think if Pete and them would have won,
he would.
I think Pete would have kept it low. But since his son, since he beat his son, I don't think Pete wanted to let, for the boxing, because his son was ranked number 6 in the world.
I think no, the other guy was 6. I think his son was 4.
Yeah, his son was 4.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, so when he lose to a no-name dude, his first professional fight, he trying to let them know, nah, he lost because he getting trained. This dude getting trained by Rocky, and he's Apollo Creed's son, so he's got the DNA and
the dirtbag thing to do.
I mean, I don't know if it's dirtbag. He wanted to protect his son, right? He didn't want his son to fall all the way down.
I agree with that, but I'm also I'm on Apollo's side, so.
I mean, you could be on Apollo's side, but he's still a father of a child. that he's training that he don't want to lose to no namer. If he would have lost to Willa or Ricky Conlon or somebody 1 and 2, then he wouldn't be mad. But this dude never had a fight in his life.
That he know of.
Professional fight.
They went to Mexico weren't professional?
People don't look at that stuff. It's no professional fight.
Alright.
You remember because when he fought the dude at the end, he was like, man, he ain't fought nobody. Them little fights in Tijuana, that stuff is trash. But,
kind of starting to fight.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, it was glorious, right? He was getting beat up a little. You know, he was getting his shots in, right? And Rock told him, like, he's like, save that left one, right?
No, he told him some tendencies. He said he has a tendency to throw the which come out there and leave it out there. When he leave it out there, that's when you
strike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he did that.
Yeah, hit him with that 2-piece and knocked his ass out. And then his sleep went right on his own face. I said, dang.
And I also love the cut that they're like, yeah, you know, they're all running out there going, yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that. He's like, yeah, let's go party. Let's start the town up. And it cuts. They're all sleepy.
On the couch with a big old bucket of ice cream.
Multiple buckets watching whatever
they watch. Yeah.
Well, I also like how it's just those three.
Yeah.
It was like just their little.
I'm sure
Man
and them was dead, and then they wind up rolling out.
I just love that though. That he's just knocked out.
Yeah, sleep, doing nothing. Tell him all this party and camp to town. Do nothing.
I love Rocky. I love Rocky's like, and just like, all right, gives him like a blanket and go sleep.
Yeah, it keeps it moving.
And they basically have sex.
Yeah. She was like, your uncle out there. He's like, man, he's sleep, man. Take that shit off.
And did this lead to is this the review, or is this when she?
What?
Or is this when she finds out, or is this when Pete reveals the thing?
Oh no, Pete had revealed it, but she found out the next day because
before he. Oh, she. Oh my God.
No, because Pete told the people, and she seen it on her phone.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, she was like, "It's something you ain't telling me."
Yeah, that bugged.
And he was like, "What you talking about?"
And she showed him that the article basically saying.
And see, that's I didn't understand why she was angry. And then my thing is, how smart is she? Because when he tell you this my uncle, and you see he black, and then she tell me, I ain't no Rocky, was your uncle. And she also said asked him, and he told her. She was like, oh, you box? When they was at Max's. She was like, you box? And he was like, yeah. She said, what, your daddy was a boxer? He was like, yeah. He was pro. He was like, yeah, something like that. And she was like, he training you? He was like, no, my dad dead. So after all that, why she didn't put that together?
I can only defend the first
And he from L.A. So if she know that, and know Apollo Creed, he from L.A. Him and Rocky was once rivals, then became buddies. He trained Rocky, then Rocky trained him. So, like...
I can only defend the first thing, the rest I can't. The first thing I only defend, I guess, since she said she wanted to keep 100, I guess that meant she was saying... But
at the same time, I'm just learning you. Why I need to tell you all my personal business?
Oh, no, like I said, I don't think he was wrong for that telling. I'm just saying that's the only thing I can kind of defend. The rest, I think common sense kind of comes in.
No, I mean, I don't think she should be mad at any time. That's my whole point. She shouldn't have been mad. Because it ain't like you found out that he was hitting another broad after he told you he just wanted to be with you. Nah, he was just...
I was more looking at this practice of just being... Dang, I just lost my train of thought. Go, finish talking about his friend.
Yeah, but I don't think she should have been as mad as she was.
I remember. I think she should have just put it together though. Like you said.
I mean.
I understand you can, but thinking about it, like you said, his uncle.
His Rocky. Yeah, it was just
dad,
too much.
He's from LA. His dad was pro.
Yeah, pro boxer.
He said his dad's dad.
Yeah, I mean.
He's black.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand like no normal person, but since you have Rocky Balboa there, it could really only be one person.
But then again, what I also got to take back is they young, so his father died before he was born.
Back in the 80s.
His father died before he was born, so maybe she don't know the history. But I thought she knew enough history that about Rocky being from Philly and him and Apollo having.
Go back to LA.
No, I'm talking about was once rivals, then became buddies. You know, they trained each other. Matter of fact, I think if I ain't sure, I think, but nah, I might be wrong about that. I don't think Apollo was at Rocky wedding, but I mean I know their wives was kind of hanging out a little bit, especially Adrian was hanging around anyway when Rocky and then went to LA and Apollo was trading them. But so what's next?
My next scene is basically they catch up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in 5 seconds, and it's basically them laying in bed again, right? And it's basically her just saying, "Be cool with the name, Creed."
No, that's not what happened.
Hmm?
What happened was Ricky Conlon. Remember, he broke the dude's jaw.
Oh yeah.
And he needed a fight because he was about to go to jail. And his trainer was like, "Man, yeah, you the one that wanted to carry around the gun, doing the dump." He said, "Who was the clown that was carrying around the gun?" And who was the other dummy that couldn't keep his hands to himself at the weigh-in? Yeah, you going to fight this guy.
Can I say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
I like that the manager doesn't care about him. He says the kids.
I don't really like how that manager talked to him.
I don't think it's good.
I mean, I understand what he was saying, but at the same time, don't be calling me no clown and none of that wild shit. I fucked up.
I understand
but
that.
I'm the one that makes us get this paper.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they don't come to see you train.
They come to see me.
See me knock motherfuckers out. So watch your mouth. He should have smacked that old trainer, for one. But, you know.
Like I said, I just like that he thinking of the kids. Like,
what kids?
Remember he's like,
oh yeah,
kids.
he said that, but after you called me a clown and all you had to do is say you did some dumb shit. What are you talking about? You did stupid shit by carrying that gun around, and then you did some more dumb shit. You wanted to think about your kids. I'm thinking about your kids right now. So that's why we're taking this fight. He could have said that. He don't have to call him no dummy or no clown because he made a mistake. Also, you gotta understand, you ain't famous running around this city. I'm in the city, so I feel like I need me a gun for my protection because people not just love me in England. It's people out there that hate me too. But that's neither here nor there.
And he basically goes to Donnie and.
But the dude flew from over England. First he called him and told him we trying to.
Can we have a business meeting? I'll be there in a few days.
Yeah.
And Rocky basically like, all right.
And so when they talked to him, he was saying about the fight, Creed name, and he was like, I don't want to use the Creed name, Donnie. And Slim was like, what? And he's like, if I don't use the Creed name, he said, it's no fight. And that's when, because basically Rocky's like, Slim, the only reason they giving you this fight because they think you're a short thing. And Donnie looked at the coach, and the coach was like, I mean, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, but, you know. So, yeah, I love that part right there. But then it leads to what you talking about. No, now you can go to your part.
And basically she's saying, be proud and at peace with the name Creed.
Yeah, because he was like, he don't want to use the name. And she was like, why not? She was like, he your dad, right?
And then he asked her, have you always been cool with you going, hurling more?
Going deaf. And she was like, yeah.
I knew about it for a long time, so
she said, I knew my whole life.
So I made peace with it.
Yeah. And she basically telling him, make peace with your dad.
I like that.
I think he was more worried about people looking at his mom crazy. Because, his father was married to Marianne. And then they had him. He cheated on Marianne, basically, and had Creed. And that's another reason why I say I love Marianne at the beginning. Because she obviously could have been a evil bride and shitted on Creed. And never brought him to her house because her husband stepped out on her to have a child with another woman. Not that he did on purpose, but he was out there having unprotected sex. So he knew it was a risk he was taking. You feel me? So that's another reason I kind of respect his mom. She didn't hold that against the kids. There's a lot of people out there that would hold it against the child. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't like you just because you got a mom by somebody that's not them.
I understand.
But,
and that leads to my next scene.
But I know, back to that scene, I love Bianca because she telling him, like, fuck what the people talking about. Be proud of who you are. Yeah, I mean you know. But go ahead to your next scene.
My next scene is basically they're training for the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like this thing. Rocky's like I don't know. He said something to him, but Donnie basically said, "It's okay because I got you."
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. How Rocky's like,
yeah, he looked back like he's told me, like, cause that's when he was like, he came and seen him after he had that talk with Bianca, and he was like, I'm gonna take the fight. How we beat him.
He's like, he got a long.
He's taller than you, so he got the longer reach.
He has experience on you.
Mm-hmm.
He has more. He has longer arms, so more reach than you.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's bigger than you. He has the reach over you.
Experience. He basically got everything.
But yeah, he told Rock, man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking the fight. But since I got you, I'm good. And that's when he did your part. Like, me? Adrian? But,
and basically, Rock starts throwing up, and then he basically.
No, that ain't what happened.
Remember?
They went and after he said, "Man, call him, huh?" And then that's when he was like, "Man, I'm about to fight Ricky Conley."
Oh yeah.
Like, and then they was starting the training, and that's when Rocky, I think, had the jump you punch, the body jump on or something. Whatever. I just know Rocky started.
Yeah, and then he started throwing up.
Yeah, he started getting woozy, he started throwing up. And he's like, "You alright, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And got up, and then he couldn't walk and fell out again. And that's when he was like, "Man, call the ambulance." And he took him to the doctor. And Rocky was like, "Man, why don't you go back and train?" He's like, "Man, we ain't doing no training. Gotta make sure you alright."
He's like, be alright. He's like, "Alright, throw your jabs." He's like, "Here?" He's like, "Yeah, this is a good room. Do it."
But that was after.
No, that was when it's in the hospital, right?
But that's after.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
that's
after.
No.
Yeah, that's later.
And so basically they go back and he's taking care of Rocky. They're having dinner. I love him.
No, that ain't what.
No, remember? Rocky went back home and he's like, "Y'all got it back there?"
But no, that's still later.
No.
Cause did you get to the part? That's after. No, you're right. They was cooking for him when they made that was Thanksgiving or something.
That was Thanksgiving?
Yeah, cause remember like get the collard greens and they had
yeah.
She made the yams and all that stuff.
I didn't know that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think
Well, it actually makes sense. It was snowing, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love how what he said. Usually, everything I eat, it usually has sauce in it.
Yeah, because he's Italian.
So all he eats
pasta type of stuff. Yeah.
I like that, even though because when he comes back later, you see him is eating more pasta.
Yeah, because that's easy to cook for him, I guess. You know, all of these sauce noodles ain't too much.
And basically, he's basically talking about how he's like, "I'm proud of you, Donnie. I love you," all that. He's like, "Bianca, you're beautiful. You're a great woman. You're great for him. Love you too." I like that.
Yeah, that's a cool scene. Cause then, so now it's after that. That's when he get the phone call, and they want him to come back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's when he comes.
That's when I think before he left out to go train Donnie, he got a phone call. Remember, Donnie's like, "What took you so long?" He's like,
Yeah, but no, I'm talking. He got the phone call. He went to the jump. They told him he had cancer, and they was like, "We need to start the chemo." He's like, "Nah, I ain't doing that. I seen my wife do that, and I don't like that."
I like that the doctor is like, "Please, like, to try it." Like, she really wants him to.
I respect what Rocky said. He said, "Don't tell nobody."
Yes.
Yeah, because you know he's still a name, and you know people put that out there, the TMZs or whatever, and try to get a little celebrity off your man. But no, and then after that he went back to the to the gym.
Can I describe before?
Huh?
Yeah.
Go.
And basically they finished training, right? And he goes, he's doing whatever.
No, they ain't. I don't know if they finished training.
Remember, like, they just like, "All right, see y'all like tomorrow."
Yeah, and Donnie went into the room.
Locker room.
Yeah, into the locker room.
And he's walked past Rocky Jack and he sees something sticking out, right? And he pulls it out.
Went in his pocket. Dirty motherfucker.
And he basically sees just like all the treatments and stuff talking about the cancer.
Yeah, about the cancer.
And he just starts reading. I mean, you can see the like horror on his face.
Yeah, he hurt. You could tell he hurt.
And Rocky comes in. He's like, he takes a look at it. And he's like, "So you know."
No, he told Rock, like, when we starting this? Like, why you ain't tell me when we going? It's time to get started.
And he's like, I'm not.
He's like, I'm not doing no game.
I love that. He's like, yeah, give me the car keys. I'll drive you to the hospital
right now. Yeah, we going right now. And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. And that's when he basically...
He said the dirtiest line.
He ain't say no dirty line.
I'm saying
Creed is just a sensitive... I mean, I understand Creed a little bit, but he's sensitive. He got to understand. I just found out I got cancer. My wife died from cancer. Paulie probably died from cancer.
I forgot I didn't see part 3.
Yeah, so I'm like, he just angry right now. Like, my life's starting to get good again, and then this shit happened. So he mad for real. That's why he like, oh, we ain't family and all that, because he mad.
And Creed basically walks out.
And he's like, oh yeah, what about me? And he's like, man, you got your whole life in front of you. My life is back there, like the names on that wall back there.
In the past.
He's like, oh, I'm done.
And Creed basically walks out. You see that he's...
And then, but Rocky, at the same time, go ahead.
And Rocky's like, why would you do that? Why would you do
He said,
that?
why did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I forgot the second thing. He said, like, why would you?
He basically said, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying, he's like, what you doing? What you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you say that? Like,
because
he knew he didn't mean that.
It took him only a few seconds.
Yeah, because he knew they was family, but he just, I guess he just so
hurt.
Used to, not even that, he's so used to losing people. You know what I'm saying? He lost his wife, his son, his best friend, Apollo. All his people is gone. Mickey, that's what I said. All his people is gone. So he like, I love this kid, but I don't want to go down the same path. And now he gonna be on the opposite end. He gonna watch me die, and I don't know how that's gonna affect his life. He got a nice woman, Bianca. I want him to go ahead, but he knew he was wrong when he said that shit.
And you can see it continues to affect him until they.
No, because after that, that's when Creed went straight to, because Bianca had that big show.
I think this is one of the scenes you're talking about where he was.
What?
You was saying like some of the things you do were, and.
Nah, I felt Creed on this one. Don't be calling me no little Creed.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I didn't think he was wrong.
No, I ain't saying that, but I'm talking about what's led to the fight. Like, and I respected you enough when you called me Lil Creed at first. You called me Lil Creed at first.
And you said, please don't do it.
Lil Creed, come over here and take this picture with me for the gram. Alright, went over there, took the picture, gave you a 5. Then you talking about Baby Creed. He's like, don't call me that. He said, what you mean? Don't call you Slim? Switched up immediately and started getting rough on some tough guys.
Well, he was still.
He's like, don't call me that. I mean, somebody can tell you. I mean, you can tell somebody, don't call me Lil Zooty. My name's Zooty. Or my name is the other name. Yeah, I don't like being called Lil Zooty. I'm my own person. You could have said, what's your hey, Lil Creed, what's your name? Oh, my name Donnie. Oh, Donnie. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't have to get aggressive immediately.
Yeah, but and you was talking that fly shit, and Donnie knocked his ass out.
And knocked a few of the other guys out too.
No, he just knocked him out, and the security guards for the show. Because remember, they came from behind and grabbed him. He just turned around and stole him. That's when they all started grabbing him, putting him on the wall. And they was holding the dude friends back. See, and then this is where I get mad at with Donnie. Because when he went to jail, and then he talked to Rocky like that. Come on, get your old sick ass away from me.
I think I can defend this a little.
Huh?
I mean, I think it's wrong, but I think he's still just mad at Rocky.
Oh, he was mad that Rocky said we not family and
all
all
he
that.
did, and then.
But my thing is, you're not dying, Creed. You 20 years old, 21 years old, whatever the fuck your age is. You good. Ease up.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Remember your mother died when you was young? How you felt back then? How you think I'm feeling? I'm telling you, all my people died. My son don't fuck with me. What you want from me? All I got is you. And I barely know you.
I think he was.
I mean, he was frustrated like
and then
Rocky.
He did
both of them was frustrated.
And then he did a Rocky when Rocky did. And he started crying, you know. And it's clear that he did. After that,
no, he know he ain't mean it. Rocky knew he ain't mean it. That's why Rocky's like, I ain't leaving until I tell you what I gotta tell you. And then he basically broke down like how he felt, like, you know, this and that. And he's like, man, you got so much ahead of you, man. Don't ruin it. But that's how you know Rocky is to love the shit out the young man. Because after he stayed there all night, went to Bianca. She was mad at him because he ruined the show for her, even though she did good. But she said she can't deal with that, the mood swing stuff. But then he told her, I ain't covering for myself, but Rocky got cancer. And I found out right before the jump, so forgive me on that. And she still thought about herself. I mean, not saying she was wrong, but what Rocky do?
He started saying,
Rocky ain't say nothing. He came in the house. Rocky said, man, you need to eat something. Look like you lost 5 pounds. Didn't even mention how you talk to me, how I talk to you. We both knew them was mistakes. I'm not even going to live right there. I just want to make sure you get you something to eat. Focus in. And then Donnie came right back and said the realest shit too. He's like, man, what you talking about? How I'm going to sit here and train and eat and do all this while you sitting right here dying? Man, we can't do it like that. We got to, you know, if you want me to fight, I need you to fight. So, and then that's when it got back to the training again. And that's when it got to your pop. When he was in that jump. He was like, man, stand up. Man, what you sitting around with? Those are shadow balls. He's like, here? He said, oh, you want me to do it? He said, no, all right, I got
That's
you.
a nice room.
Yeah.
I like that. He's just running up steps and stuff. Like, so when he starts saying to the nurse, he's like, don't do that. She'll probably knock you out.
Yeah, he said, hey, watch the nurse. When he was throwing the punches at her, yeah, she'll probably knock you out. Yeah, hey, Rocky throwing up and
it's just showing that
the chemo.
But he's fighting because Donnie's walking away.
Yeah, I love him. He loves me. We're gonna fight for each other.
And so basically, they go to my next scene, right? They go to like, what is that? Like the pre-meet up thing.
Oh, the press conference. Yeah, it's like the press conference.
Sure, let's call it the press conference. I don't know the name.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
And it's basically Rocky's like, hey, don't let them rile you. Don't worry about their questions. Just stay calm.
And Slim came in doing the same thing
that
Apollo basically did to Rocky. Talking like, look at this man, look at his little bum over there, he can't even talk and this and that. And Rocky was being nice. Like, oh man, I'm lucky to be in the room with Apollo, he's so great. And Apollo couldn't get him mad. Like, he was getting mad that he wasn't getting mad, that he was insulting him. And Rocky just looked up like, hey, Mickey, you know, we lucky to be here, you know what I'm saying? Because they come from the hood. And Apollo, he probably came from the hood, but he been rich so long, he ain't act like it no more. But yeah, that's why I love the movie, because it's basically Rocky and again, but he just a black guy going through different things. He going through it's Donnie begins. Yeah. And he going through different things.
Creed begins.
No, we're gonna go with Donnie. It's Creed already, man. But anyway, what's your next thing?
And it's basically I already got press conference.
Oh.
When they're in the room.
Oh yeah, when they go to the room. And Rocky like, can I come in and talk to you for a minute?
I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, he said, I need you to when the fight over, I'm gonna need you to do me a big favor. And he said, oh, of course, huh?
What was the big favor?
He didn't have no favor.
Oh, was the favor walking up the stairs?
Maybe. But I think the favor was just Bush, him just saying that so he can come in the room, because he kept looking at the door. He's like, man, why you keep looking at the door, huh?
Alright, I'm going to think.
I ain't looking at the door.
I'm going to think my way.
I mean, that's cool too. But I just think it was more just to get in the door so we can sit down and I can wait for Bianca to come. Because he kept looking.
It killed me when he's like, oh, who could that be?
Yeah, when he knocked the door. He said, you hear something? And she ain't knocked yet. He's like, nah, I ain't hear nothing yet.
At this time, like,
he kept just giving him the looking back. I said, this man was funny. I don't know what.
The acting from Rocky. Who could that be at this time? He's like, all right, and now I'm actually gonna go to sleep. No sex.
Yeah, when he over the shoes, they was like, we already know. She said, we already know.
No, his legs will be good or something.
Yeah, noodle legs, busting all them nuts and stuff, fucking and shit.
And basically, this leads to my next scene. between him and
Ricky Conner.
Pretty Ricky Conner. I can't get over
I like Ricky.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the name. Pretty Ricky.
Pretty boy Floyd used to be, but then he turned to Money Mayweather.
I like this because he probably knows it, but she will never admit it to him. Mom's watching.
Oh yeah. You see her on TV watching.
And basically they start throwing it, right? And at the beginning you can see he kind of, at the end, he's starting dodging, just smacking him on the chin and stuff.
Smacking him or punching him?
Punching him.
Yeah.
I meant it as, punching with sure.
Yeah, you said smacking. I don't know what you was doing. Just keep your hands down and just talk.
And basically knocking him on the chin.
I mean, he was hitting them everywhere. Body, chin.
And then Rocky, I think gave him some, pep talk, or is that the second time? No, wait, he got inspired, right? And then they started going back and forth,
Yeah, that's when Rocky was like, man, you can do something. Just breathe, relax, take your time.
And basically they're just going blow for blow. I like her mom's
You see that? Well, you don't remember that. It was basically when Rocky hit Drago. Said, oh, he bleeds.
I haven't seen.
I know you haven't seen Part 4 when Apollo got killed, but
he dies?
What?
Oh. My bad, you said Rocky. Apollo.
Man,
my bad.
Why will Rocky die if we seeing him on Creed?
My bad.
Make sure your kids use their brains out there. People. These kids are slow these days.
Drago's the one who killed Apollo?
Yes.
Is that why he said if he dies, he dies?
He dies, yes.
I didn't even know that. But anyway, you said it was that's based off them?
Yeah, because, I mean, Drago was a machine. See, Drago was on steroids and stuff. But anyway, and the first round was like that. And he was just beating Rocky. And then when Rocky finally hit him and cut him, he's like, oh, he bleeds.
Oh, yeah, he did have the same thing where he's like...
Yeah, he bleeds. Yeah.
And is that when they started going blow for blow?
Yeah, that's when. And just like that fight, how they just saw the rounds just kind of going past. It was just like that.
Yeah, I just love it. It was like a comic book to me or something. It's just awesome. Just showing them go blow. And I don't know if it was just me, but it seems every time Rocky hit him, I mean, not Rocky, Donnie hit him, he was like, it was harder than when he was hitting him.
Yeah, because I think Donnie a more harder puncher, but Ricky was more skilled. And Ricky had power too, though. But
I love the mom when she's like, she's like
biting
her nails,
crazy.
like trying.
Yeah, remind me of Adrian from the first fight.
I don't remember.
The first Rocky, or was it the second? One of them, she didn't come to the fight.
But she's watching it.
Huh?
But she's watching it.
Yeah, because I think the second one, she was pregnant with their son, and she wanted Rocky to quit, and that's when Paulie was cussing her out like, man, you got him walking around like a bum. And she was like, this is my husband. I don't want him to get hurt. But he started screaming on her, and she was like, he's like, what you doing? Because that's his little sister. He the one hooked her up with Rocky. Because Rocky, but anyway.
I like how Bianca, I was curious, like, and she's like,
and Rocky's like, no, he's
don't
good.
leave her alone.
Yeah, but she like,
and she's like, back off.
No, I'm talking about when she was looking at Rocky, like, is he good? And he's like, he good. Like,
I like that both the mom and her.
Yeah, going through it. I like that too.
I think mom could have went out there, but she would have just.
Yeah, I don't think she wanted to be that close.
And I'm pretty sure she would
have been good. She wouldn't have been good for Donnie out there. I think she would have messed him up.
So it was just easier for both of them.
Yeah, because she would have been
worried.
Yeah, and it might have worried him and messed up his training and all that.
And basically, a bunch of rounds pass, right?
Yeah.
He closes his eye. His left eye, right?
Oh, yeah. He was looking like Rocky, like that thing was shut.
And it's starting to, like...
Yeah, that thing was Puff Daddy.
But when you're looking over at, what's his name?
Rick,
pretty boy Rick. He's just...
I mean, he got
spitting out blood.
Bruises. Yeah, he got little bruises.
But you would see him spitting out blood. Like, them covering up a bunch of his cuts and stuff.
Yeah, man, that one cut.
Really?
I thought he had some bruises.
I thought he had one right here, too. Or is that Donnie?
Yeah, that was Donnie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But But he just sees spitting up blood, both of them.
Both of them spitting the blood, but when they showing in the bucket, that's them spraying the water in your mouth and the blood in.
Oh, maybe I'm more thinking about when they're fighting and you just start seeing blood.
Yeah, that's what you talking about when they're getting punched.
I also love that one shot. It's not like that slow motion shot. It's just you just see him punch him hard and you see blood.
Fly everywhere, yeah.
And basically, I love the doctor's like, can you see? He can't see, and he's just like on the back.
Oh, Rocky holding the neck and tapping him to let him know how many fingers he got up. Yeah, because he said the same thing that Apollo. Remember, Rocky wanted to throw the towel in. He's like, man, don't throw the towel in, huh? Like, don't throw it in. I need this. I need this. Yeah, because he wanted to be able to prove that he belonged. And that's what Rocky told him. Donnie, you belong. Now go in there, I want you to knock him on his ass. Remember? He's like, don't be worrying about all that stuff. You belong here. Now let him know. And that's when he said, I want you to go over across that ring. I want you to put him on his ass.
And basically, they fight it, and he knocks Donnie out.
Yeah, he knocked Donnie.
I mean, it was sad, but it made me laugh how his body's moving like it's a doll.
Oh, the slow motion, how they made him fall. That's why I said Michael B. Jordan, a hell of an actor. But
yeah, it's not funny, but it just made me laugh how his body looked after he fell.
I just love how he's seeing everything in his head, Rocky and all that. And then how he do, and just wake up out of nowhere. His dad versus Rocky. Yeah, he just wake up out of nowhere like a man possessed. Get right up.
And he basically knocks, what's his name, Pretty Boy Rick, cold.
Yeah, he spent him. You see his foot flew up in the air. You got to see when he falling, his foot up by the referee's face.
Knocked him out that bad.
I mean, he got up. That's why Donnie lost the fight.
But if I thought he was knocked out. He was just like,
no, he just was dazed. I mean, like you see, he hit him. He spent him, but when he fell, his foot went up in the air.
Heavy days. Yeah, because you see how he's getting up. He's like.
Yeah, he barely got up. Because remember, he got up 9 seconds. It's only a 10 count. And then
that was their last round.
He's lucky like it was no Saved by the Bell. But yeah, I love that. But I like how Ricky, you see, he respected him. Before the fight, he was like, man, that nigga, he just here because his name.
But then after that, he's like, where that name?
Yeah, because they've been through war. He's like, I respect that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you
where the name?
He said, you the next one.
How do you say it, Scottish voice?
Let's talk regular.
Wear the name with pride.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good though.
Mm-hmm.
There, I got the Scottish in at the last second.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know what that would sound like, gibberish. But
and basically, the last scene is basically Rocky. You know, the most famous shot from Rocky 1, and him at the top of the steps. You know, only he has Donnie walking. He's like, and there's more steps than usual.
Yeah, because he's still going through his chemo and stuff, so he ain't really strong.
Yeah, but he's like, come on, we're almost there. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically get to the top. And I forgot what he said to him.
He's like, they put more stairs up here.
No, after that, like when they got to the top, I think. I forgot what he said to him.
Oh, see, I don't remember.
Oh, can I mention one tiny scene I remember?
What?
It was when he was training to fight, what's his name?
The Lion?
No, the Pretty Boy Ricky.
Pretty Ricky.
I like that when he was running, you told me it was reference to Rocky 1. While he's running through, he's like, hey, come on. And like all his boys, all the communities just showing up.
I love that part. Because even Rocky, on Rocky 1, Rocky running through the Italian joint. They got all like the fruit stands and little vegetable stands, and they like Rocky. You know, they get to running with him. But here he had the youngest on the 4-wheelers and the dirt bikes and stuff. Yeah,
I love that. When he gets to the
he's
gym,
like, ride with me. Yeah.
When he gets to the gym, you don't hear them talking, but you can see them circling him. Going,
and he's playing that Rocky.
But you can also see in the background them all going, yeah. And you see Rocky in the window like,
yeah, Rocky like the priest on the old Rockies that Rocky used to ride past the church and the priest used to give him the cross, you know. And that's what it reminded me of, because he looked up to him, he like this, and the youngest going around him in a circle doing donuts.
I just like all of them like chilling with him like this.
Yeah, because that's their guy. You knew that when Shawty pulled up on him, remember when he was mad at Rocky and the gym was locked. And he was like, you Apollo Creed, son.
He showed them respect the other guy could have showed.
And he was like, yeah, he said, that's what's up. And they pulled off Willie in the box.
I think one of the kids was him, right?
Who?
He was like, come on. One of them on the...
Yeah, Shawty was the one in the front. When he was like, come on, ride with me. And Shawty was right there riding beside him. Like when they showing us, him, and them behind him. Shorty on his left side right there.
I just love that. Yeah. It's great shots and great everything. That seems just
close it out though.
Great. And that's basically the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's.
We'll be back for part 2. And I guess soon, and then part 3 will be out. We're definitely gonna get on top of that.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But what do they need to do with the bell?
Oh yeah, hit that notification bell so y'all know when we drop another video.
And in the comments, comment.
Have a nice night.